1946 brought us the most unrecognizable, unknown, unthought of Disney movie of all time, and that is Make Mine Music. That's what we're going to talk about right now. Hey friends, welcome to the Disney Pasture. I'm your host Tim and I talk all things Disney, which includes Walt Disney Animation. I have a question for you. Have you even seen this? Because it's not on Disney Plus. It's the only Walt Disney animated feature to not be on Disney Plus. Well, except for Wish as of the recording of this. But anyways, I'm going to talk about the good, the average, and the bad, and then I'm going to give you my rating. Without further ado, let's dive in. Oh boy, I apologize in advance. This might be a rant.
Ooh, that's good.
Kicking things off with the good, I have nothing here.
Excuse me?
I'm being serious. Like, the animation's fine, so I'm not gonna, knock it. It's the same style of animation that we see. If anything, it looks even cheaper than what we're used to. Really, that's just, I think, a great summary to describe this movie. But I'm dead serious. There's nothing really great about this movie. Let's move on.
It is my professional opinion that now is the time to panic.
Something good? Something bad? Bit of both?
Moving on to the average, there's a few things here that are okay. They're not great. We do get Casey at the bat, which is a decent animated sequence. That's probably the only good thing to come out of this, but it's not good enough to be a part of the good category. It's just decent. As far as I know, it's where we get Casey's Corner from, which is at both Disneyland and Walt Disney World and a few other Disney parks around the world, such as Disneyland Paris. It doesn't help the rest of the crap, is the best way to put it, that's in this movie. And yeah, let's dive into the bad. Oh boy.
I have a really bad feeling about this.
I have many problems with this movie. For one, this is just thrown together. If you think Three Caballeros or Saludos is thrown together, this is even worse. There's no story. There's no real narration except for a few sequences, right? Casey at the Bat's one, Peter and the Wolf is one, and then the last sequence with the whale is the only one that has even remotely characters talking within a story, and I don't even know. The hard part is it's built around music, right? And so there's things here that are decent, that work, that make sense. And then there's other parts that, I enjoy Casey at the Bat, but it doesn't make sense musically. Why is it even in there? And then just stuff is just super crazy weird. The last scene with the opera singing whale is just one of those things that make you wonder, what were they smoking? That's at least my question, because it's so confusing. At the same time, it's also just not good. Granted, it also may be my biases because I'm not a big fan of opera music in general. So there's that, but it's just, if you can read my face, I'm just disappointed throughout this entire thing. It's just not good.
That's true. He hates you the most.
It just feels cheap. That's really just the best way to describe it, is it feels cheap. And I think part of the reason of that is because World War II significantly affected the process in which this story would come about, this picture. And it's so evident in this one. We think movies that have been affected by COVID are bad. This got nothing on those. But this feels like someone's cheap attempt to make a Disney movie that fails miserably. There's just nothing here to really, thoroughly enjoy. Most of the time I have moments with even movies that are terrible. There's things I can point out that I'm I enjoyed that, I may disagree with the movie as a whole, but that's a moment I'm it was done pretty well. And I enjoyed that. I don't really have one for this. I mean, like I said, Casey at the Bat's decent, but every single part it's so lackluster. It's so bland. It's so meh. It's not even mid. It's below mid to such an extent that it's such a low. And the problem is like, this is more than likely the worst Walt Disney animated feature ever produced. It's not the worst Disney movie ever made. I know that because I've seen a few ones that are even worse than this. And it's just disappointing. It really is. Anyways, to give my kind of overall thoughts, it's disappointing. It's lackluster. It feels cheap. It doesn't even feel like a Disney movie, and that's kind of the sad part about it. Thank God they rebound. Overall, I give it a 3.3 out of 10. I may be generous with that, but, you know, it's not like, again, this is not the worst Disney movie ever made. It's close. It's close. Anyways, that wraps up my thoughts on this movie. If you've seen it, let me know in the comments down below your thoughts. I'm curious to hear those if you have them. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a big thumbs up. I greatly appreciate it. Apologies for the rant if that's not what you're into, but hey, you know, sometimes you deal with crappy movies like this one. And if you're new around here, I want to say a special welcome to you. Be sure to subscribe down below and hit the bell to be notified for more videos just like this one. I'll see you guys in the next video. Hope you guys have a great day. Goodbye.